The judge in the Alex Murdaugh double murder trial is still deciding whether a jury will hear testimony about his financial troubles. Prosecutors called witnesses to the stand yesterday without jurors in the room, claiming Murdaugh murdered his wife and son to gain sympathy and create a distraction to keep his alleged crimes from being exposed. ABC News contributor and New York City homicide public defender Brian Buckmeyer joining me live now for more on this. Brian, always good to see you. So let's talk about what happened in the courtroom yesterday. Much of the day spent arguing over whether Murdaugh's alleged financial crimes can now be entered as a motive. How important is that, and what do you make of the testimony that you heard yesterday?
Well, good to see you as well, Alexis. It's everything for the prosecution. They already have the opportunity, the fact that they have evidence that Alex Murdaugh's alibi seems to not hold water and that he was actually in the area when these murders occurred, but now they're trying to go for motive. It's important for them, but I don't think they're making it out here. I believe that Alex Murdaugh did these financial crimes. I believe that he was trying to cover up his assets, but at the same time as these murders, but there's not that connective tissue that says this is a motive. And I don't think the judge is going to make that leap to connect it because it could be a reversible error and bring this case back to him in the future.
So if the judge does decide to let the jury hear this testimony, let's say, how might that impact the overall case?
So everything we were seeing in this kind of in-camera review outside the presence of the jury, we're going to see it again and then some in front of the jury, and that's going to color this case. Now, the prosecution is going to have the narrative of, here's the money, here's the finances, here's the boat incident, and he tried to evade all of that by killing his wife and the apple of his eye, his youngest son. That's going to create this clash between defense and prosecution as to whether or not this motive makes sense for this murder.
Now, the prosecution claims that Murdaugh's motive to kill his wife and son was to ease his financial stress. As a defense attorney, what do you make of that possible motive, and is it plausible?
It's funny. I think of this less as a defense attorney and more as a father. I can't wrap my mind around why someone would kill their wife and their youngest child to get away from this, because as a lawyer, I mean, I've only been doing this for, what, a decade? He was bred to be a prosecutor. His father, his father's father, his father's father was a prosecutor. You can't get from underneath financial crimes by killing someone. That's never happened before. This is not a thing in the way that the prosecution is arguing it. So they're going to try to force this square peg into the circular hole. And I think the defense can sit back and say the reason why it doesn't work is because he's not guilty. It might actually help the defense down the line.
Now, more officers are going to be testifying today, and that raincoat that we talked about with gun residue will likely be admitted. So what will you be listening for?
I want to hear the cross-examination. I think the direct is going to be very simple. Jacket, GSR, or gunshot residue there at the location. But I think the defense is going to try to attack. You don't know when that gunshot residue got on there. It's a hunting lodge. I'm sure that everything in that area has gunshot residue, but you can't say when it happened, where it happened, and with what weapon, and also who was wearing it at the time. I think those might raise questions. The question is it enough for reasonable doubt?
We're going to be watching and reporting on it. Brian Buckmeyer, thank you.
My pleasure.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.